start this meeting is being recorded. It's official. So professional. Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Yay. Oh gosh, I know. Like I wish we could all be in the same room as each other, but I'm glad that we can at least do this. And glad we can have it recorded because I know people are doing things and Debbie's in a wedding today and all sorts of things. So I kind of wanted to talk through a few like logistical things, which sounds kind of boring, but just kind of want to just talk through some stuff. We've had a good morning here. We just had brunch, and then we just kind of talked through like this last year, and it's been like a really crazy year. And we talked about kind of like the highs and lows that we've had this last year. And I think for all of us, it's been, I feel like for any person living in the world right now, there's been some highs and there's also been some really hard lows. And so just kind of acknowledge that and talk through that. And I know we've all walked through stuff, and now we find ourselves in this season where Arbonne put forth this really amazing opportunity to grow our businesses with the reduced qualification, which is just so generous. And the more I learn about our new CEO, the more I'm so excited and so impressed. And he's got such an amazing vision. And so it's kind of that season of like, okay, we watched a training too. And Ashley Stone talked about like, using everything going on in Arbonne paired with our activity and effort. And obviously we are all independent business owners, so we can decide what does that look like in this season. But just want to talk about like, okay, I really think that this is a season where if we want to grow, if you want to grow, it's going to be an incredible time to do that. And one thing I feel like I've learned is that getting into the wave of momentum that happens is so worth it, because things will just happen in your business when you are in that wave of momentum and when you're in that consistency. And so being a part of what's going on in Arbonne. And so I want to talk through what that's going to look like for our team. And we've had new people join our team. We've had, seasons where some of us have had to kind of take a little step back from Arbonne, and now are ready to come back in. And so I feel like it's almost like a fresh season for our team. And so that's why I really wanted to like connect. So there's a few practical things I want to talk through, and then I want to talk through kind of our vision, or my vision that I've got for the next few months, that I just want to invite us all into. And so the first thing, and I want to I'd love to pretend that we're all in the same room. And so please feel free to unmute and chime in, because I want to know your guys's thoughts and opinions. The first practical item that I wanted to talk through is just the best place for us to connect. We've used Voxer in the past, and I think there's times where we're all super good at checking Voxer, and then I know sometimes I'm I have 137 missed messages on Voxer. And so wondering, do we want to stick with Voxer? Do we want to move to a text platform or Facebook Messenger? Do you want more communication to happen? And we do have a region Facebook page outside of the Life by Design page. Do we want more communication to happen there? I think one of the pros of Voxer is we can see who is a part of it without having to have everyone's phone numbers, so we know who's replying. The nice thing about voice recordings in Voxer is you don't have to hold it down the whole time. You can play it and play it faster. I think in text messages you have to play it and you can't jump around. If it's a 5-minute long message and it turns off for a second, you have to start it all the way back over. It's a pain. So I think there's pros and cons to all of those. But I think there is a ton of value. Oh yeah, Group Me. I remember using that for Hatch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good thought, Cheyenne.
I'm sure. Yeah, Cheyenne, you're probably using that now. Do you guys actively use that, Cheyenne?
Hey, girl. Hey.
You're muted. Group Me, yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I used to use that for our cheer teams.
Okay, so they still do use it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Group Me is good. And then kind of the nice thing is people who are in that Voxer group who maybe are like not doing Arbonne anymore or whatever, it's probably really annoying for them to be getting all these messages. And so I feel like having maybe a new platform or something like that might be helpful of like, okay, we can kind of go through everyone in our teams, do you want to be a part of this messaging platform or, and it can kind of make it a clearer who wants to be a part of the communication and who isn't ready for that right now. And that's 100% okay. I just think there is value for sure in us being able to have a place where we connect, where we can encourage each other. I don't know about you guys, but I feel so much more like, first of all, I think it's more fun, but I think it creates more energy and momentum when I feel like I'm not the only person doing this, when we're like connecting and cheering each other on, and being really active in that. And I also think it helps me stay at the forefront. Like it helps it stay at the forefront. Oh, a Snapchat group. I didn't even know there was that. This is me and my brilliance with
this is Katie. Please don't do Snapchat. I don't understand it. I can't do one more social media platform. Sorry, I'm old.
Katie, have you done Group Me?
No, but what is Group Me?
It's messaging.
It's similar to
Snapchat,
Voxer.
I think Snapchat would be difficult because they disappear. Like,
oh yeah.
even if you have.
Oh
Really?
Group Snapchats, they stay. And then other ones.
I've never noticed that. I am in some group snaps and I've never noticed.
And then if
Okay.
you send it, you can put down on it.
Oh yeah. But I think GroupMe is a really good option because it's just like messaging and.
Well, and what we want to do, what I think would be valuable too, is just kind of like, okay, this is like our platform moving forward. So, new team members, as you guys, build your own teams, this is where you guys are going to be connecting, so kind of, a lot of like we have a Life by Design Nation leadership group that's in Voxer. There's a lot of Arbonne stuff that's in Voxer, so it would be kind of introducing a new platform. I don't know of any groups on it.
Mel, does GroupMe, is it like Teams where you can save files and different things like that, or
Can you save files in it? I'm gonna sign in.
like what makes it better than Voxer?
I
Is
think
what I'm.
so. Actually, I've looked at Tyler's a couple times, and
Because I think ultimately, I like the idea of switching platforms because it's something new and people will get excited about it. But ultimately, I fear it'll then just become the next Voxer, where you just, the way for any of this to be successful is if you just turn on your alerts and commit to actually.
Right. So is there a whole new platform?
Voxer is used, like you said.
Right. And we don't need to.
It's just adding one more thing.
Right.
And so maybe we make a new Set Free Region Voxer group, ask who wants to be in it, and then eventually close out the other one so it's cleaned up. And then it's just committing to it,
Yeah, because you guys, there's a lot of people in this group.
Yeah, I looked through the other day and I was like, I don't even know some of these people are.
Yeah. That's a really great point, Katie. Because I also don't want to be like we're trying to reinvent the wheel here. and the nice thing about Voxer, like I'm in a group, it's a To the Top Tuesday, and there's trainings every Tuesday in there, and I can forward those on to, and there's other things like that. So yeah, so maybe it is Katie just kind of creating a new group. And we just need to be more committed to checking it. I need to be more committed to posting it. And I want all of us to feel like you have freedom. This is not just like a place where only Melanie's allowed to post things. Like you guys, I would love for you guys to be posting, anything that any great tip or word of encouragement or whatever you've got on your heart for the day. And then, anyone else have thoughts on sticking with the same platform, new platform? Anyone else have input?
Mel, this is Katie again. The only other thought I had is if people don't like Voxer, then we should look at Facebook or because they're the other people probably use the most. And so again, it's not adding another new option. It's just
the text. Did you say text or messenger?
I like what.
It's just glitchy.
Yeah, we're going through a swamp right now.
That's
so you might not be able to hear me. But I like the idea.
Oh, there she goes.
Okay.
Okay, so Cheyenne just, and that's part of it too, is we just need to be better when we're onboarding people, which gosh, we had a checklist for onboarding people. I remember creating that. That was really nice.
I see you in here, Cheyenne, but we might just have like a really, I don't know. Some people have like, maybe it's not the right one or something. I'll try to add you.
And maybe, maybe just creating that new group. But we just need to be better when we're onboarding people, inviting them into it, saying, this is our communication platform. This is where our team connects. Because then,
Yeah, I like just trying to be more intentional with it and making it, see what we can do to just make it better.
Yeah. Because as you guys grow and promote, you're going to be using Voxer in the leadership group, in, whatever other, there's some subgroups in here that you get added to as you grow your business. And so it would probably be good for us at this point to stick with this platform.
Yeah. You just said terrible service. I like Voxer. An onboarding checklist is necessary.
Okay.
Which I know we had. I think we haven't shared that in at least a while. So
yeah. And probably need some updating.
Yes.
So I've got that in my Google Drive. Okay. So I'll update it and post. Because I think we have the Facebook page for our team. It's hard. I don't like posting in both, but at the same time, like this recording is probably easier to post in the Facebook, but I guess I can post a recording. It doesn't super matter. But going live and stuff is more in that Facebook page. I just think it's tricky when it's like, well, we've got this and we've got this. And Megan's team is also in that. And so, so maybe, I think most of the stuff I can post in that Voxer group. Like when I create, update that checklist, I think I can load. Oh, I think you can load attachments. Oh, from Dropbox. Okay. I wish there was a way to know. There's like a boards app, or not boards. there is a different app that a lot of people are switching. They're like changing off of. They were talking about this at Green Bay. There are teams moving off of Facebook and moving it onto a completely different platform. I can't remember the name of it. But Missy found out through her, I think, nephew who works with apps in the tech world, that app had not been updated since 2019, which means nobody's working on it, which means it's a dying app. And so you don't want to move your entire team onto a dying app. So I wish we knew, when's the last time Voxer's been updated or worked on? But
yeah. Okay. Katie said Facebook at Nation ? Use only Voxer now.
Yeah. So like when we're a nation, we're going to end up with, as we grow to nation, there's going to be enough people.
Yeah.
We're going to want a Facebook page.
And I feel like when
there's
we
value
onboard
for sure.
brand new people, it does get to be a lot of like, how many things do I need to add them to?
Right.
You know, like.
The app Voxer was last updated August 23rd of this month. This year. So like very recent.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe let's get really good at Voxer.
Okay.
Let's commit to it. Let's commit to onboarding people well in there. Let's commit to posting in there, being present. The more we interact, the more other people are going to interact too. If we just kind of create that as the norm. So if you don't have Voxer, get Voxer. I like if like whoever sponsored you, if they have your phone number, we'll get notified that you sign up for Voxer, and then we can add you to the group, and I will create a new group, and we can kind of comb through our teams and figure out who wants to be a part of that group. And you just be responsible for your team. That sound good? Mm-hmm. You be responsible for your directs. So that sounds like, hi Natalie. That sounds like a great plan. Okay, sweet. So, okay, sticking with Voxer as the main platform, and when we grow to nation, I think Facebook for sure is kind of a necessary thing to have with the files and all of that capability. So, okay, thanks for the input on that. Okay, another thing I'd love input on, and something I've talked about with Nicole and Katie, is kind of creating accountability that's helpful for all of us. So in the past, we've done like accountability groups, whether in Voxer or text. We've done, when we were really pushing for a region, Nicole and I committed, every night, night of the week at 8:00 Central Time, we're going to be on Zoom. If you have someone who is looking for an overview, we'll be available at that time for one. Otherwise, we're making it a power hour. And we were kind of just we just kind of had a work power hour or overview every night. And now that was a lot doing it every night. And I totally recognize that. And that was really a season of like pushing. But kind of figuring out what serves you guys well. Like, is that something that would be really helpful, is kind of knowing this is going to just be happening every night? Or what kind of helps you guys with accountability? Would it be like doing a weekly meeting and kind of checking in of here's what I've been working on this week? Is it posting your daily method for success every day? Or kind of committing as a team, this is what our daily accountability, our daily commitment is going to look like. I just would love to hear from you guys what you feel like works well for you, and then let's make a game plan for how we want to help each other with that.
I personally think it would be so beneficial if, I don't know what this would look like, because if you can't do every single night, but I love this idea of like, okay, we're going into fall, not as many people are out and about late at night. And so if we're like, hey, every single night at 8:30, we're on, this Zoom number, and whether or not you're on, it's just a time for all of us to just come on, and whoever is working is working, and great. And if you have commitments that night, that's totally fine. But I love the idea of just like, honestly, every single night, because I don't know. I just feel like sometimes if it's like, hey, we're on every Tuesday, Thursday, it's like, if you could like, just know like every single night we're on here at this time. But then I don't know if that looks like, if we invite somebody to do an overview, do we do it at that time, or like, I don't know what that looks like, but I love the idea of just like, hey, we're working, somebody's going to be on Zoom, whether it's you, me, Katie, if anybody else wants to like step up to be like, yep, I'll log into Mel's Zoom. I don't know if we're even just like communicating on Voxer, like, hey, who's going to log in? Like, who's going to log in tonight, just to make sure that people are working, because I think it's so helpful to just know that you're not doing it alone, and to run ideas off each other and verbiage and help with, bumps and stuff like that. I love the idea of like, we're on a Zoom every single evening. And you don't have to feel like you have to get on if you already got your work done that night, like,
Right.
but somebody's on every night.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that too much? I don't know.
No, what was so fun about that too is like, we just saw our, each other's faces every night, or every, few nights. And like, yeah, that feeling of not being alone, and just like our friendships got stronger, it was really sweet.
Yeah. It's just such like just come and go, like we would hop on like,
Yeah.
I don't know. You can hop on from like 8:45 to 9:15, like great. I don't know. So I love the idea of being on like daily.
Yeah.
Come into fall.
Yeah.
Winter time, because people are home anyways.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Anybody else have thoughts on that, or anything that would be helpful?
Since we have service, I'm going to talk for a second instead of texting Cole. I loved that when we just said every night from 8 to 9 we were on. And Nicole, I don't know exactly what the times were that you suggested, because we couldn't hear you for a bit there, but it was so exciting, and we had so much momentum, and I thought that was huge. Like, Mel, as you were going region and I was going area, there was so much excitement around it. And so just seeing everyone's faces, it felt like we were so much more of a team.
Yeah. And here's what we could do. So, Katie, the time that we said was 8:30. But like, you guys, if you want to invite somebody to listen to what Arbonne is all about, then just say like, hey, at 8:30, my team's going to be on Zoom, and we share what this opportunity is going to look like. And so then when we get on and we see that somebody is on here that wants to do an overview, then we're doing that. And so like Mel or myself or Katie or whoever wants to, share Arbonne, you could. And then the rest of you are just like, listening in, because I think there's so much power in that. Like, if we hear over and over and over again what this is, and you could just be working, while you're sharing Arbonne. And if there's nobody that's on for that overview, then we're all just doing a power hour together working. But if we have, I like, we've been doing power hours together where like I've been texting a girl, and she was like, oh, I'm just really looking for community. And I'm like, hey, would you just like hop on this Zoom call really quick till we're like, we could just share what we do with you, because I think you'd love this, And so it's just, I don't know. I just think there's like so much power in that. Like, just hop on, like there's people on, and we're working, and somebody will just share with you what this looks like. I don't know.
Yeah, I love that.
And then and then you also know, like, like every single day I have like if I'm texting somebody, I can always offer for them to hear what Arbonne is going to look like, because I know my team is going to be on Zoom tonight. There will be somebody on who would be willing to share. Because I can just tell you right up front, like coming into fall, winter, like I would commit to being on like every single night. Like, if I'm going to be working anyways, I'll be on for 45 minutes or whatever. So if anybody has anybody that wants to hop on, then just tune them in and I'll share with them, like whatever.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We lost Katie, but anybody else? Would that be helpful to just know that option's available to either work?
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to set to like help people grow. Like for me, like my first thought is like that's like my time with my husband because I don't see him like all day long because he works like 14-hour days sometimes. But then I was like, gosh, what we just listened to from Ashley Stone says like prioritize your time. Like, okay, I can jump on for at least 30 minutes every single day and like that's not a big deal. Like, so I think having that in place would be like a really good like motivator for people that like need to carve out that time in their day but just don't know when that's gonna be. But this gives people a time to be like, okay, I'm gonna be intentional. Like I'm just gonna do it. Like you just have to commit to doing it because nothing changes if you don't change anything.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to grow in your business and want to do the work and be consistent, I think that's like a really helpful way to do that.
Well, and yeah, I totally agree. And like I think back to when I've been super disciplined in my like time blocking and because I never want like my marriage to suffer at the hands of Arbonne. You know. But
Natalie says, love that idea. Sweet.
I remember like when we were doing that, Josh just knew from 8 to 9, I'm working, but then 9, and I'm we're both kind of night owls, so it works. But like then we had 9 to 10, 10:30, and we were just super intentional with that time. And he's busy. He had stuff he needed to get done, or he's exhausted after a long day and could enjoy just some quiet for, without me for an hour. And so it's what we were talking about of like just being intentional with the time that we have. Like when you're on, you're on. When you're off. Whether you're working your business, you're with your kids, you're with your husband, you're with your team, you're with your friends, like being where you're at.
Can you guys hear us okay? Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, okay. And I think there's just that accountability part too of like knowing like I'm at home. And again, if there's a night where like you're like, okay, Quincy and I want to watch a movie or like do a date night and you're not on, but then every other night you're like, I know that my team is on. I know that they're there. I know that they're working. So there's that accountability. And then again, just like a place where you can be like, hey, I'm going to log on for 20 minutes and quick throw out these, these follow-ups where I can ask people for verbiage or whatever. I think that would be like, I think that would change our businesses. And it was so fun.
Oh, so
to just
fun.
like, yep, okay, just gonna hop on Zoom for the,
So fun.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think super great as we onboard people too.
Yeah.
So good for new people to just have like, you're not just alone, like trying to sit by yourself. Like, what do I do? So, and just giving people a community to plug into right away. So I love it. So maybe what we can do is have people volunteer for one night of the week. So our team calls now move to Monday from like 8 to 8:30. So we could still hop on for like a half hour after the team call if we want to. But then having like, who's going to take Tuesdays, who's going to take Wednesdays, who's going to take Thursdays, who's going to take Fridays. Does that work? So if you want to put in the Voxer group or here what day you want to take, or we can rotate 2 more. But just having, and I can give you guys my login info for Vox or for Zoom so that we can just have a consistent number that we're using. And then we can just do that. I love it. So what day is it today? It's a Saturday. So we can kick it off this week. Sweet. Love it.
Can I just chime in about that?
Yes.
Maybe as like a new person, I'm just like needing more hand holding. Like I feel like I ask Debbie and Nicole all the time, like, what should I do? Or like I read like the Daily Method of Success all the time, but I'm still like, I don't know what I'm doing. So maybe like a couple of times we could have like a little bit more like outline or like what you guys are doing like specifically during that work time. I think that would be helpful, at least for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great input. I think we did a couple times where I think Katie kind of put out some like, okay, like tonight we're gonna just like shoot out 20, 30-day ads or whatever. And it was like kind of, doing some little challenges together. But I do think going into this season, having like what are we all committing to daily is really helpful, especially as you're bringing in new folks. And that daily method for success, I think is really, I think it's just awesome, kind of making that your daily commitment. And we can help you, like, what does that look like? I remember like a year or two ago, I did like here's what the daily method for success is and what it looks like. Because when you're new and you're looking at it, you're like, which I totally understand.
Well, Debbie has like showed me a like whole notebook you can buy, and I might need to do that because like having something like physically written down, so you're not just like getting on your computer like, okay, what do I do? But you're like, okay, this is like what I'm looking at. This is what I need to check off.
Yeah. And I think we could do like fun things too of like, hey, we're like, I don't know. I just always think it's fun too to just like really encourage each other to just like get out of our comfort zones and be like, hey, you guys, okay, tomorrow night, let's really shoot to get 3 people on this Zoom to just hear, we'll be like, okay, Kristen's going to just share her story and let's get people on to hear her story, and I just think that would be would be so fun.
These tablets are super cheap on Etsy, and they come with like 100 or something in a pad. And there's some people who are like organized, which I am not, and I never claimed to be an organized person. But they're like, you can print them off too. And like Lori Huffman, who's like one of the most organized humans I know, like has a notebook. I tried this. I bought a notebook and like tabs and made like one for every month and was gonna like have one page for every day of the month dated so that in a year I could look back and she does that, and that's phenomenal. It's an area of growth for me, the organization piece. I'm a little bit more spastic, and so this chucked in my purse tends to work better for me than a notebook with dates and things that I have to whole bunch. So you do what works best for your personality, because gosh, I sure wish I was more organized, and because that would be super helpful, and that's definitely something I need to grow in. But I think just saying, okay, as a team, our commitment like is the daily method for success. That is kind of when we're talking about consistency, if I'm being consistent in my business, it means I'm doing the daily method for success every day, and that's what I'm teaching people to do. We were talking about like the power of duplication and the power of like the $2,500 building block. This was something that I think they used to bring up all the time, and we just haven't talked about it much recently. But the $2,500 building block is really like every month you're committing to $2,500 PQV, personal sale volume, and then that's what you're teaching and training your people to do. And when you're doing the daily method for success, you're going to get your $2,500 building block, and you're going to find people who are going to be able to do that. And with the reduced qualifications, it's kind of nuts. Like really to promote to district manager, basically all you need is to do your $2,500 building block twice, and you're a district manager. That is literally what it is. It's 24. But your $2,500 building block twice, you're a district manager. If you do your $2,500 building block and you find 2 people to teach and train to do the $2,500 building block, you're 500 away from area qual. So you're basically an area qual. And so the reduced qualifications are really kind of crazy in that of like literally, so like, yes, promote to district, but that's kind of a stepping stone, because what it is, it's you doing your 2,500 and teaching 2 people to do the same. And that daily method for success, doing it consistently, is how we do it. And so simplifying what we're doing so that it's easier to teach people and we can onboard people faster and get them rolling. So, okay. Any last thoughts on the accountability piece? It's fun. I love this. Thanks for your input, you guys. It's so helpful. Okay. The last thing I just wanted to touch on is just to kind of officially say with these, especially with this reduced qualifications going on, I've been praying about this a lot. Whoops, there we go. Uh-oh. Sorry, something popped up on my computer. I've been praying about it a lot because I know it's a commitment, and I know it's going to require just a mindset shift. And yeah, like we said, it's been kind of a weird, hard year for a lot of us. And so it's going to kind of require a decision to move forward. But I am convicted that this team needs to work for Nation. It might feel like, wow, that feels like a big, like to me, like, woo-hoo! I get a little bit like anxious just saying that out loud, because whenever we declare something or commit to something, there's always that risk of like, but what if I fail? What if I put myself out there and what if I fail? But we were literally just talking about like, you know, we don't know exactly where all of our businesses are going to be at the end of this reduced qualification period. We don't know, but we do know that our value is not determined by our title or by where our businesses are at in that time. And so there is no failure really, because no matter what, when you set a goal out there for yourself, you're going to grow. And so there's no reason to be afraid of failure. And the reason that I feel convicted that we need to go Nation is because of you all, because I know where you guys want to go. I know many of your whys, and I know what this team is capable of and who we are, and that we have a really, really great thing to share with people, and that it's time for us to invite more people into our team. And so we are going Nation. Whoop, whoop. Super exciting.
Woo! Oh,
I know, I'm
like...
getting the, which means there are going to be regional vice presidents promoted on this team. There are going to be area managers promoted on this team, districts and beyond. It means we're going to start setting some super high sponsorship goals, because we know at the end of the day, it's less about the QV and it's more about those sponsoring numbers. And so we're going to start setting some super big goals for that. And so October, I'll be kind of setting out that big, scary goal. But I think all these things we're putting into place of making sure we're connecting well with each other, making sure we're, you know, working together and supporting one another, making sure we're all committing to consistency together. And then all of us, all of us just need to kind of reflect on, okay, where do I want my business to be in 6 months? Where do I want it to be in a year? And we talked about this, like, goals are not the end all be all, but goals are important, because you can't set a goal and then just be like, well, hope I get there. Like, that's not how it happens. What you do is you set your goal so that you can kind of make a game plan of, in order to get there, what do I need to do? And like I said, whether that goal is reached or not does not determine your value, does not determine whether you were successful or not. And so we don't want to hang that much value on it, but goals are so important in order to kind of make that game plan of, how do I want to get there? And why do you want to reach that goal? Why is that important to you? So revise your why. Write out your goal. Make a goal card. remember, man, going Regent, I had it everywhere because I needed it at the forefront of my mind, because doubt and fear and all those things will creep in. And so having that kind of at the forefront of your mind and speaking that life over yourself all the time is super important. So write it down, write a million sticky notes and put them all over your house. You know, for me, I did commit to like no TV till RVP. Like I didn't, you know, just watch mindless TV because I was committed to doing other things during that time. So, you know, what is it that you're going to sacrifice in this season in order to be where you want to be? And like I said, district is great, but really with this reduced qualification and really with the heart of this is a good thing and I want to share it with others, area and beyond is so incredible. You guys, you can be a consultant right now and be a region by the end of this. But you can be a nation, for crying out loud. You totally can. People have gone nation in 5 months without this reduced qualification, which is incredible. So whatever you want your business to look like at the end of this qualification period and beyond over the next year, it absolutely can. So whatever you need to do to kind of get yourself, you know, in the right mindset. And if you're not totally sure what that looks like, talk to your upline, talk to one of us, and we'll kind of help you with what I need to do to kind of get things, you know, in a row. For me, I know it's going to mean I'm getting up early again. I'm having my quiet time, having my reading time. That sets a huge tone for my day. That's honestly what I found kind of makes or break my day and my business sometimes, is that quiet time in the morning. And so setting my, you know, what am I going to do? What is my, you know, consistent commitment for the day? So getting back into all of those good habits, which feels so good when we're doing them. It's crazy how quickly the domino effect to fall off of that train happens. But, you know, it's so worth it when we're doing it. So if we can all help each other and encourage each other in that way, and please, please, please feel totally comfortable to reach out to any of us and be like, how do you do that? Because I promise it was brand new to all of us too. So whatever we can do to help, we are all here to help one another and help each other grow. We all have a reason we said yes to this business, and each of those reasons are super significant to our lives. We would not be willing to get as uncomfortable as we do if our why didn't matter. And so it does matter. And so let's encourage each other to do this, because man, like, what would your life look like in 6 months if you got to where you wanted to go? What would it look like? And what would that mean for your family, for your future? It's so worth it. So do what you got to do to get in the right mindset, set a goal, and we will be connecting on Voxer.
Can I share something really
Zoom.
quick?
Oh yes, I'd love to.
Okay. Here's the image so you guys know. Okay, if you guys can see, I listened to a training and this stuck with me so much. So this is all businesses. This is not just network marketing, but we assume that business is supposed to look like this. But this is the reality. Consistency, 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 consistency. And this timeline might look different for each person, but then all of a sudden, then you just like see the success or the, you know, seeds that you planted in this. And so don't be discouraged. We have to go through this season in order to get to this. And so I just think with these reduced qualifications, you know, my timeline is like, okay, if I plant really good for 2-3 good months, and I don't really see much, but trusting that this part is coming. And so that was just a part of the training that I was like, oh, that's so good. So if you're in the valley of slowness or the valley of whatever we want to call this, be encouraged, because you're in the right spot. And you're doing the do, but that is showing up every single day for your business, being consistent, you know, doing the reach outs, doing, you know, listening to uplifting and things that are going to get you in the right mindset, doing the work, and then you'll see the success. So that was just something that was super encouraging to me, that I just wanted to share, because I love that. So we all have to go through that. We all have to go through that time of just doing the work and planting the seeds to get to the end result or goal. So,
Mm.
and we'll all be in that together. We're all going to be in that together. Like we're all going to be doing that part together, and then we get to celebrate and see it come to fruition whenever the time is meant to be. So, yeah.
Cool. That was great. Thank you for that. I'm going to write that out.
Feel free to share anything that's on your heart if you guys have anything. But we love you guys so much. This team is so sweet.
So sweet. This has been very cup filling.
Thanks, ladies.
Also, little
Cheyenne.
plug. I think we should do like a Christmas party,
Yes.
like our team.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, I'll do it.
Wouldn't that be fun? I think that would be super
Bring
fun.
veggie dip.
You bring the veggie dip. She does this like 30-day approved veggie dip that's like better than regular veggie dip, and I'm obsessed.
So good.
So good. Yeah, so good. Oh.
Well, I love you guys. Yes, ugly sweater party.
Yes. I love it. Oh, let's do it. Okay, well, we'll get it on the calendar. I'll get it on the calendar earlier than I did this one. Sorry for my a little bit. Like, hey guys, 2 weeks. Sorry. Oh, I just geez, Louise. Anyways, love you guys. Thanks for being on. This is recorded so we can share it with people who were not able to be on. Put it in the Voxer group. And love you guys lots. Thank you so much for being on.
Bye.
The way.